Hi, I'm Lisa Wallen with Directional Learning, and I welcome you teachers and parents to our Teacher Parent Edition. Today, we're moving on to decoding. You can tell I have a simple word here. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be decoding these simple words by using all our shapes that we used in our last video. And we're going to be doing simple words like CVC words. It's a consonant, a vowel, a consonant. And we'll be doing closed syllable words, and we'll be doing open syllable words like this word here. And notice that they each have a vowel. That's what we're going to be doing, working on one syllable words that have just one vowel or one red letter. So the reason why we do CVC words, simple words, is because that's where we need to begin when we decode so that we understand how to decode. Because a student might look at this word here and say, yeah, it says bat. But why does it say bat is the important thing. Well, they need to know that when there's a red letter and there's a blue fly next door, then it makes its short sound or its baby sound. And then they can touch the letters and say the word. That's how you decode. There's no more guessing for the student. So even if you have an older student, a student in high school, middle school, or even an adult, this word may look very simple, but actually it's not if you don't know how to decode. So this is why you need to watch all the videos and teach this process to the student, because even decoding a simple word like this is super important, because when we move to larger words, they're going to have to know how to decode. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be decoding these simple CVC words. So guess what? All you need for this segment is you need a whiteboard, maybe some markers so you can write the numbers and the word. And you can go to directionallearning.com and you can download our shapes and our sound sticks as well. So let's get started. Okay, I just wanted to remind you that before every lesson, we always review what they just learned. So in our last video, they learned who the vowels were and they learned who the consonants or blue flies were. So you're going to have them write the alphabet from A to Z or Z to A, and they're going to link the sounds to the letters. They're still doing that. To remember the sequence, they can remember the stories or the characters. Then you're going to have given these markers here. You're going to have enough of these triangles for each vowel, and you're going to have them put it in that order, just like I'm doing here. But you'll have enough of these. And then for the consonants, remember, their constant sounds pretty much stay the same. They're blue flies. You're going to have them put them underneath there. You can remind them of the definition. This changes the sound. These letters here can change. Then you're going to ask them, well, if I have a red letter, a blue fly next door, what kind of sound is it going to make? And they should say a baby sound or a short sound, right? Ah. And then you're going to go through each vowel and do the same thing for the short sounds, okay? Then you're going to move to the long sounds. So we take away the blue fly, essentially. So there's a red letter, no blue fly next door. It gets to scream its letter name. And its letter name is A. So, and you'll do that for each vowel so that they practice their short sounds and their long sounds with them. And now you're ready to decode with your student. Okay, and the next step we're going to do is review with them. If you remember, we reviewed just using the shapes. So you're going to remind them the red is their vowels and the blue dot is the blue flies or the consonants. Their letters stay the same. The vowels can change. And then you're going to have sound sticks for them. Okay, and you're going to say, what if I have a red letter here and a blue fly is next door? What kind of sound is this red letter going to make? Which sound stick? Well, you can remind them if there's a blue fly next door, it's going to cry like a baby. It's going to cry its baby sound. Where's the baby stick? That's the short stick. And they're going to grab that and put that over the red triangle. You can help them if they forgot. Then you're going to ask them, what kind of sound would this make if there was no blue fly? Then it gets to scream its letter name. So let's get the screaming stick. It gets to scream because there's no blue fly there. It's happy that there's no blue fly there, so it gets to scream its letter name. It's free. You can just remind them. And you just want to practice with them like that. So now you just want to simply practice with letters because letters are important because we're going to be moving to letters for them to decode. So you can have it set up like this. You can have the vowels. We can skip letter Y. And you can set it up like this. You can say, what if I have this letter here next to a blue fly? What kind of sound is it going to make? So they should say a short sound or a baby sound. Ah is the sound. So then you want to maybe set up something for a long sound. What kind of sound is it going to make? If there's no blue fly next door, it should make its long sound. It should be able to scream. And it should say E. So that's what you want to do with them. You just want to practice short and long sounds using the shapes and the vowels. All right, now it's time to move on to decoding. So the first thing I like to do with them is I like to have the word all set up for them. Notice how I have it all set up and I have it numbered and underlined. This underline is going to become important because it's going to make up syllables later on for them. But for now, you're just going to underline it and you're going to tell them, look, we're going to start decoding today. Remember all those letters we learned? Well, they make up sounds and those sounds make up words. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So the first thing we do when we decode is we look for the red letter. So can you get the red triangle and put it underneath? You can show them too. Then what we do is we look next door on the 3 side. Notice I have it under the 3. So you look next door and what letter is there? It's a blue fly. So we get that blue fly, put it underneath it. Then we have to figure out which sound stick to use. Well, remember, if I have a red letter and a blue fly is next door, it's going to cry its baby sound. So which one's the baby stick? There it is. And remember, if they're an older student, I wouldn't use that language, baby stick. I would say short sound. You could explain it to them at first like that, but then start using terms where they feel comfortable. Because remember, we have different students age as far as ages, so you want to teach to their age. Okay, then after that, they know it's going to make a short sound. Say, see these numbers up here? 1, 2, 3. Notice each letter is parked in these numbers. I call these numbers parking spaces, and that's where our letters get parked, in the parking spaces. And we can have up to 3 parking spaces. Notice there's 3 letters, 3 parking spaces. So these parking spaces, this would be the first parking space. See the letters underneath it? Here's the second parking space, and here's the third parking space. Well, these parking spaces, these numbers mean direction too. So this 1 means the beginning of the word. The number 2 is the middle of the word. See how it's being squished in the middle? And number 3 is the ending of the word. So our word has direction, the beginning, middle, and end. Well, when we go to read the word, we touch the first parking spot and say the sound, then the second and say the sound, and the third and say the sound. Then that will make up a word for us. Watch, let's do it together. First sound is ba, a, t, bat. Did you hear it? You read the word. Watch, try it again. Ba, a, t, bat. Say it all together. Ba, a, t, bat. That's how we decode. So you just decoded your first word. Then I tell them, so something else I want to tell you. Did you know that word, in order for it to be a word, it has to have at least 1 red letter in that word? Did you know that? In order for it to be a word, it has to have at least 1 red letter. And this word has 1 red letter. So I'm going to put a 1 up here because it has 1 red letter or 1 red vowel. So I'm going to put a 1 up there. Do you know what this means? This means that if it has 1 red letter, it has 1 syllable. Notice how I put the 1 up there for 1 syllable? And a syllable, it's what makes up words. In order for it to be a word, it has to have at least 1 red letter to be 1 syllable. And this word has 1 red letter, so it's a 1 syllable word. So We'll learn more about syllables later because it's important when we decode. But this word has one syllable. So in order for it to be a word, it has to have one red letter. You want to make sure you tell them that. Then you want to ask them again, where's the beginning of the word? Where's the middle of the word? Where's the end of the word? They can point or tell you. And then you want to ask them, do you see that we built a one-syllable word? So where's the beginning of the syllable? It's the same thing. Where's the middle of the syllable? And where's the end of the syllable? Super important. You want them to be able to determine where they're at in the syllable as far as direction, because it's going to be important when we go to decode larger words. Let's try another word. First, we find the red letter. So you might want to say, give them directions as they're doing it. Then we look next door on the 3 side. There's a blue fly. Then we pick our sound stick. It's going to be a baby sound stick or a short sound stick because it's next to a blue fly, so it would cry like a baby. So a baby stick or short stick. Okay, then we're going to touch each sound. J, e, t, jet. The word is jet. So did you see how simple it is? And this line right here reminds them it's a short sound, so they can touch it just like I did. J, e, t, jet. Notice how we blended it? We slide our finger. That's what you want them to do. Now, if they don't want to slide their finger, you can always get your magic pen out, or I'll call it my magic lifesaver, and they can touch each sound. J, e, t, jet with that. Because I get some kids in here that just simply don't want to touch it with their hands, and that's okay. So find an alternative. You can use a pen. I call it the magic pen. Of course, age appropriate. And some, even with their fingers, I call it a magic finger or magic lifesaver, whatever you want to say, whatever they're into. Okay, so that's how easy it is to decode a word. Have them show you, say, can you show me how to decode this word? And they may say, but before you do that, let's take the numbers off here and have them number it. Say, I'm going to have you number this word. What's the first sound? And they should say, there it is. Where's the middle sound? There it is. There's the third sound. We can have up to 3 parking spots. There's 3 letters, 3 parking spots. So park them. Next step, ask them, say, what's the next thing we do? Well, you find the red letter, so now they can start showing you. You look next door, there's a blue fly, it's gonna cry its baby sound. And then you touch each letter. D, a, g, dog. So this letter here, if they're getting it confused, tell them it's the dentist sound. What do you do when you go to the dentist? Ah. So because sometimes I get students that want to say O for this letter, but remind them it's a short stick, so it's a dentist sound. You can even ask them on this word, how many red letters in this word? And they can point and say 1 red letter. So if there's 1 red letter, how many syllables in this word? And they can you can have the number 1 there for them to add it. 1 syllable. So if there's 1 red letter, it's 1 syllable. So you built a syllable. And can you tell me where the beginning of the syllable is? Can you tell me where the middle of the syllable is? And the end of the syllable. Okay, next we're going to throw a nonsense word in there. You can see it's a nonsense word. I'll tell them we're going to have nonsense words, and I explain what it is. A nonsense word is not a real word, but you have to sound it out to come up with what the word is, the nonsense word. Nonsense words are fake words. That's what I tell them, they're not real. So same thing, you find the red letter, look next door, there's somebody there, so it's going to cry. It's baby sound. Then they touch each sound, b, ap, blend it, bap. So is that a real word? I'll ask them. They'll say no. They should say no. So the reason why we do nonsense words is to make sure that they're understanding the decoding process. So you want to throw in nonsense words in there every once in a while on them. Okay, we're moving on to what you would call an open syllable word. No blue flies there, if you notice. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing. You're going to say, okay, I want you to look for the red letter. Can you look for the red letter? So they might do that. Say, look next door. Is there anybody here? There is not. So what kind of sound is it going to make? And they should be able to tell you it's going to scream its letter name, something different because there's not a blue fly there. So they'll touch each letter, b, E. Blend it, B. The word is B. Okay, and then here you can have them number it. Say, okay, I'm going to have you number this word. Now notice I have 1, 2, 3 numbers, and I only have 2 letters. So, let's number it together. So this is the first sound, and this sound, is it going to be the middle sound or the ending sound? So they should tell you ending sound. If not, you can explain it to them that there is no middle sound there. So in this word, we just have a beginning sound and ending sound. Now this is important for decoding later on. So this is why we teach this. So ask them, say, is there a red letter? There is. So we know it's a word. So how many red letters? There's 1. So how many syllables is in this word? 1 syllable. So have them teach them like that. Okay, so just explain to them there's no middle sound there. So it's just a beginning and an ending sound there. And you can ask them, where's the beginning of the word? Where's the ending of the word? Where's the beginning of the syllable? Where's the ending of the syllable? It's the same thing. Here's another open syllable word for them. I don't use that term with them, but I'm using that with you so that you know. It's also a CV word. Okay, so have them do the same thing. Say you're going to number this word. So here's the beginning sound. Where's the ending sound? Oh, there's the ending sound. There's no middle this time. Find the red letter. What kind of sound is it going to make? There's no blue fly there, so it gets to scream its letter name. So get the long stick. So use the sound sticks for them. So N-O. This one screams its name. N-O. No. The word is no. Okay, we're going to try a different word with them. And you can tell I have a digraph here. And if you know what a digraph is, they kind of belong together, but they're not like a blend, where a blend, you would hear each sound. Here you don't hear either sound. They make up their own sound. I call this the library sound. So if you've ever been in the library and you maybe spoke too loud, the librarian would say shh, and I do that motion with my hand, with my finger up to my mouth, shh, and that's that sound. So if they don't know that sound, I tell them, and I'll ask them, do you know that sound together? And if they don't, then I'll explain that to them. And I'll tell them that we do this the same way. We look for the red letter. There's nobody next door, so it gets to, scream its letter name. So you can tell we're working on long sounds, so it gets a long stick, right? So sound stick, and then you know the sound for here, so you can put your finger up to the mouth for them to remember sh, e, she. The word is sh, e, she. So pretty easy. And if you want them to number it, they might go something like this at first. 1, 2, 3, because there are 3 letters, 3 parking spots, but you can tell them that these 2 letters here, they belong together. They're a pair. But you hear a different sound from them. They don't get to say their sounds. So the word is sh, e, she. Okay, so you can tell I have all the vowels here for them. So same thing, I would do open syllable words for them. Not really making up words, but they're going to be more sounds. So tell them these are nonsense. So I would do nonsense words with them on this. So I would find the red letter, and then is there a blue fly next door? There isn't, so it would scream its name. So can you say the sounds? A, fe, and I would just do all the vowels for them. Let's see if this is going to let me move things around. Sometimes it doesn't. So you can do, put that letter up there, same thing. They find it, and it screams. You can go through all the vowels. Here, we've only taught them one sound. It's f, you, few. We haven't taught them the oo sound yet, so just have them do the letter name to keep it consistent, and we'll teach that when we teach all the long sounds. And then, go through that. You can even add blends if you want. You can teach them how to blend. There we go. Let's do this one like that. Same thing. Find the red letter. It's going to make its long sound, right? And then here, you don't really have to blend it. You go f, l, a, lay, or you could teach them how to do a blend. A blend is each sound gets to make its name, and then you blend it really quick. So full a, flay. The word is full a, flay. So that's what you want to do. You can do different blends with them if you want to practice with them. Pretty easy. Okay, so that's what you're going to do with them. Something else I wanted to mention to you is, do you notice when we are working on these nonsense words and the real words too, we only ended with one red letter? Those are the kind of words I want you to give your student just one red letter. So we're not working on something like this yet with two red letters. Okay, so when you do your word list, only end with one red letter, if that makes sense. So you would truly have like a consonant vowel or a consonant vowel word. So just one red letter, because we're going to work on that. Even though it's a long sound, we're going to work on that when we get to the long sounds. Okay, so we thank you for watching Directional Learning, and we can't wait to teach you more.